Genesis 2:17 follows God's instruction to Adam to enjoy the abundance of the Garden of Eden, but introduces the one prohibition regarding the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. This command introduces the concept of moral boundaries and the consequence of disobedience. Verse 17, "But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die." Key phrases: you must not eat. Tree of the knowledge of good and evil. You will certainly die. In Hebrew, the concepts for these words are as follows. 1. You must not eat. Lo tokhal, lo tokhal. The Hebrew phrase lo tokhal is a prohibition, meaning you shall not eat. This is a strong negative command, emphasizing the seriousness of the instruction. It sets a clear boundary in Adam's relationship with God. 2. Tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Eatest hada'at tavob vara. Etz hada'at tov vara. Etz eatest. The Hebrew word for tree represents both a physical tree and a symbolic source of moral knowledge. Da'at, da'at. Knowledge in Hebrew implies a deep, experiential understanding, not just intellectual awareness. Tov vara, tavob vara. Good and evil represent moral categories. In Hebrew, these terms often imply the full spectrum of morality, everything from what is completely good to what is evil. 3. Certainly die. Emvot tamft, mot tamut. The phrase mot tamut uses a Hebrew idiom that emphasizes certainty. Literally translated as dying, you shall die. It expresses the absolute consequence of disobedience. The repetition underscores the seriousness of the outcome, indicating that death is not just physical, but entire. You must not eat. This phrase sets a clear prohibition. God establishes a boundary for Adam, providing him with the freedom to eat from any other tree, but withholding this specific one. This introduces the concept of free will, where Adam must choose to obey or disobey. Tree of the knowledge of good and evil. This tree symbolizes the moral autonomy that belongs to God. It represents the knowledge of both good and evil, which humans were not initially meant to possess, as it would lead to the ability to determine right and wrong independently of God. The name implies a profound moral awareness that comes with responsibility and consequences. You will certainly die. This warning introduces the concept of absolute death, both physical and spiritual. The Hebrew phrase implies an absolute certainty. Death, in this context, can be understood not only as physical death, but totally.